Your coaches, parents, older cousins, and ESPN will tell you every day that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player to ever live. Heck, many will even say that he's the best athlete to ever grace this planet. But with every popular opinion, there's always a case for the contrary. Though MJ may be thought of as the greatest of all time, there are some arguments that don't work in his favor. And as you know, here at Total Pro Sports, we love giving you the opposite side of an argument, just to watch you squirm. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we dive into 10 reasons why Michael Jordan is not the GOAT. And a huge shout out to cavin, cataclysm, for suggesting this list. We do hope you love it and do what Cavin did. He went down in the comment section, he wrote out an idea that he wanted us to do, and we're doing it, and we gave him a shout out. So thanks for the idea, Cavin. I have nothing else to say. Number 10, not a team player. Where does Jordan rank in the career assists? 43rd. And why is that? Because he was a ball hog and didn't play like a true team player. Like that guy that would never give me the ball in gym class because I was fat and slow. Yes, he hit all those iconic buzzer-beating shots, but MJ never passed the damn ball. Granted, he never really had to, but legends like Tim Duncan, LeBron James, and Magic Johnson always tried to make their teammates around them better. Jordan was just so good, he was allowed to be selfish, but being a complete player means playing for the logo in the front, not for the name on the back. Number 9, expand the expansion. Jordan's rookie season was in 1984. His final season was in 1998. During that time frame, the NBA founded 6 new franchises, and as every sports fan knows, expansion teams often take a long time until they started winning. MJ was lucky to face so many awful expansion teams throughout his career. That included the Toronto Raptors and Charlotte Hornets, among others. Jordan's Chicago Bulls had so many gimme wins every year thanks to expansion. Number 8, market and media overhype. In the 80s and 90s, there was no social media. There weren't all these reality shows to follow your favorite sports stars either. So Air Jordan, Space Jam, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and all these video game companies relied on none other than MJ. They didn't care about any athlete but Jordan, so they bombarded him with sponsorships and endorsements. They basically made Jordan out to be this human who controlled the world. In today's era, each sport has multiple faces that dominate media coverage and endorsements. Because MJ was the only athlete to appear on your television and cereal box in the 80s and 90s, many just grew up with the idea that he was the GOAT. That idea was really shoved down our throats, and we didn't bother to reject it. Number 7, want to talk rings? Too many sports fans love to argue rings when debating the GOATs. Well, 2 can play at that game. Folks say Tom Brady's the GOAT because of his 5 rings. So if MJ's the GOAT, then why does he only have 6 rings? 9 players won more championships than MJ. Bill Russell has the most with 11. We'll leave it at that. If you want to bring in the ring count, remember that MJ isn't even close to having the most. Number 6, no super teams to stop him. Nobody could touch the Bulls once MJ teamed up with Scottie, Pippen, and Phil Jackson. The NBA was different back then. Players didn't take their talents elsewhere to form super teams as other superstars often do now, which we've talked about a lot. Once a week, usually. No doubt the Bulls were great, but in their dynasty decade, nobody in the East could really touch them. Shaq's Orlando Magic were close-ish, but in a way they really weren't. Only the Utah Jazz pestered the Bulls, and they were a 2-man team with Karl Malone and John Stockton. They didn't have a big 3, nor did they have a great bench like the Bulls. It would have been fun to see MJ try to stop the super teams of the 21st century. And now, timeout. This is the part of the video where they want me to ask you the question in the middle so you can get started writing on it down in the bottom. So, here's the question. What other reasons suggest MJ isn't the GOAT? Now, you may believe he is the GOAT, but we also want to hear why you may not think he's the GOAT. Play devil's advocate here. We love that stuff. Number 5, call me coach. How lucky MJ was to have arguably the best head coach ever in Mr. Phil Jackson himself. Jordan's Bulls couldn't get over the hump in the postseason until Jackson came aboard for the 1989-90 season. As is the case with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, it'd be nice to see MJ try to win a title with a different head coach. Maybe having the best head coach ever is the reason why he succeeded. Oh wait, MJ didn't win a title with Doug Collins, and he didn't win one with the Washington Wizards. And hey, the LA Lakers won 5 championships with Jackson. Maybe Jordan benefited from having Phil Jackson as his head coach, or something like that. Number 4, dream supporting cast. We'll get to Scottie Pippen in a bit, but Jordan also had arguably the best defensive player of all time in Dennis Rodman to help cap off the 96-98 three-peat. Rodman was a one-man wrecking crew on defense, so MJ didn't have to play a whole lot of D. Jordan also had a sniper three-point shooter in Steve Kerr on his side. Kerr was the guy who scored the NBA championship clincher in 1997. John Paxson also scored the game-winning bucket to clinch the Bulls their 1993 championship. Horace Grant and Ron Harper were also great role players. Nice supporting cast there, MJ. Number 3, not the scoring champion. Wayne Gretzky is the best NHL player ever because nobody comes close to his scoring totals. So, why don't we consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the GOAT? His 38,387 career points will never be broken. Heck, Karl Malone and Kobe Bryant also finished ahead of MJ in all-time scoring. Jordan only ranks 4th all-time in scoring. If you didn't score the most, are you sure you're the GOAT? Just some food for thought here. Number 2, Scottie Pippen. Pippen joined the Bulls as a rookie for the 1987-88 season. Prior to that, Jordan's Bulls were eliminated in the opening round of the playoffs for 3 straight years. So no, MJ couldn't do it on his own. Then in his second season, Pippen helped MJ take the Bulls to the Eastern Conference Finals. A few years later, and the Bulls were NBA champions. Jordan couldn't do it alone, just like how LeBron couldn't win titles until he formed a super team with 2 other superstars. You just wonder if Jordan would even have a ring without Pippen, who was also among the league's elite players in the 90s. And number 1, Bulls won without MJ. Jordan shocked the world when he retired after the Bulls won their 3rd straight championship in 1993. But the Bulls didn't exactly miss the so-called GOAT when he retired. In the 1993-94 season, the Bulls won 55 games, and Pippen had a career year in which he averaged 22 points and 8.7 rebounds per game. They would lose to the New York Knicks in the second round, but still, the Bulls were more than fine without Jordan. Pippen proved he didn't need MJ to lead the team, and it's easy to believe Chicago would have been great had Jordan stayed retired. No disrespect here to MJ, not at all. But the Bulls proved they could win games without him. How did the Cavaliers do when LeBron left the first time? How'd the Lakers do once Kobe slowed down in his twilight years? We think we made a pretty good case why Jordan may not be the GOAT. So, once again, the question. What other reasons suggest that MJ isn't the GOAT? Play devil's advocate here. Give us a reason why you think he is. Give us a reason why you think he isn't. It's always a fun game to play, isn't it? Okay, so here's the spiel. We do this every video, so you should be used to it by now. My mic may be in the frame. I don't know. I can't check right now. That's cool. We'll just do it old school. We'll put it right here so y'all can see it. Just 3. All right, yo, here's what we're going to do. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so down the subscribe button down there. If you already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. Shout out to you OGs out there. We see you when you say it in the comments. If you have an idea for a video, feel free to leave it down below. If we like it, we'll use it. Write up a video for it, give you a shout out. Stay tuned for more cool videos every single day on this channel from me, the Quad, or Mike. You never know who you're going to get. This goes back and forth because there's too many videos for just one of us, or even 2 of us. That's how we do it. And we'll see you guys next time.